Welcome to Ranting with the Joker. Today's topic is something that really irks me. It's something called tradition, which is basically doing something because someone else did it repeatedly. Okay? Maybe that may seem like a small thing, but I'm telling you, if there are small traditions, there are normal traditions, and there are big traditions, things that impact your life that you probably don't even realize. So first, let's start with a really well-known tradition that a lot of you have. Weddings and funerals. Seems innocent enough, doesn't it? Oh. Now, why do you get married? Because everyone's gotta get married. You just gotta have kids and a marriage. Don't forget, no premarital sex or anything like that. And when you die, you gotta be buried in a box, right? Wrong! Do you realize that because of tradition, gay people have been ostracized? It's not traditional if two men or two women go down the aisle. Oh, no. It's gotta be a man and a woman. Are you proposing that we ruin people's lives, dictate how they live because of the way you have a tradition? Is that the way things are? You know, I personally, I don't put my traditions on other people. We'll get to my traditions in a moment, but let's just talk about how bad things can be. So, you're gonna get married, are you? You need something old and something blue and bullshit stuff like that, right? And you can't see each other and all that kind of crap that goes on, and a white dress if you're pure and an off-white if you're not, and a whole bunch of stuff like that, and your tiered cakes. Bullshit. Just wait a second. If you take a look at weddings, you can look at it and say, I want that. But maybe there's something you don't want. Maybe there's something in a wedding that you don't like. You know what? You're not obligated to do it. Maybe your great-grandmother's there and she's insisting on it, but you know what? It's not her day, is it? It's yours. Her day's coming, don't you worry. We're gonna get to the funeral. Oh, we're gonna get there. Let's actually jump there right now. Let's go to the funeral. So, tradition says, for a lot of us, not all of us, that you get buried in a very expensive box and you're put under the ground and everyone gathers around and says, I like this guy, or I didn't like this guy or girl or whoever you are, right? Right? Well, what about this? What if you want your body to be cremated? And your relatives all just want to bury you in a box. Well, now you've got conflicting traditions, right? And cremation's relatively new to the whole funeral thing. Well, here's what I have to say. Your granddaddy was buried in a $6,000 casket. And your daddy was buried in an $8,000 casket. And due to inflation, you're deciding, I'm going to be buried in a $10,000 basket. A basket. I don't care, casket. Well, what do your offspring have to say about that squandering of their inheritance? You're just gonna take all that money that you worked so hard for. Do you remember a time in your life when $10,000 was a lot of money? And now you're just gonna throw it away? Because I'm sure your offspring still think that $10,000 is a lot of money. Would they rather see you go into the ground in a permanent resting place for all that money? Or would they rather spend it on something for them? I have to say that these are just the smaller things in tradition. These things don't even matter. They're inconsequential. Now let's talk about people's lives, shall we? Let's talk about, say, Christmas. Oh, that's innocent. Spend some time with your family, why don't you? Well, I'm telling you right now that the commercialization of Christmas has made it so that the average monkey can't manage their own income to refrain from buying gifts that they can't even afford. Some of you are probably guilty of that, spending money that you don't even have because tradition says you gotta. Have you ever thought of just a card, spending time with family, cooking a dinner, getting together? Not everyone needs to spend their life savings to match someone else's idea of traditional Christmas. So you just remember that. Try to refrain. Don't be a monkey who can't manage their own income, right? But let's go bigger, shall we? Let's go even bigger. Let's talk about historical sites, for example. Oh, well, this place is 50 years old or 100 years old. Even though it has no historical significance, it's old. And our tradition says that now we have to keep it around forever. Let's better start demolishing things when they're 49 years old, or they're going to be around forever. But what's bigger than that? What could be bigger than impacting our lands now, in our lives with funerals and commercialization? What about royalty? You just got born into a top-paying political job with lots of power, and you got to skip the interview process. You didn't even get an interview. Oh wait, not you. No, you're not a blue blood, as they put it. Oh, no. You're a commoner, the Commonwealth, the red blood, the expendable, right? Because you weren't born to a very specific person. You know what this sounds like to me? It sounds like a dictatorship. A dictatorship. But you know what? You can still look at tradition and take some inspiration from it. Just don't feel obligated to live up to it. For example, let's take me. I started my own tradition. Of course, it was taken from many generations ago, but I like it. I like it a lot. It's called ritualistic sacrifice. What you do is you take a lamb, a young lamb, right? And you put it up on a stone, and you just slit its throat when it's still alive, and you let it bleed out there, and its blood goes out, and then you look at it and you say, there we go. There you got to do that every month. Every month on the first of the month you got to do it. You got to sacrifice your lamb. Because if you don't do it, well then you're not really obeying your traditions. And you know what? If you cite tradition and ritual and religion, you're gonna get away with it too. And the animal rights groups, they're gonna say you're a bad man. But you know what? You're not bad. You're just following tradition. Wrong! Wrong! You know what? That's cruelty to an animal. You know, maybe people deserve to die, but not the innocent lamb. You let your lamb fall down on the stone and die because of tradition. It's not much different than what you're doing. When you say, you know what? I'm not going to sleep in the same bed as this person before we get married. And I am going to spend my offspring's inheritance on a casket before I go underground. And this person who's born to royal blood, you know what? They just got themselves a top-paying political job with all the benefits and respect. No interview. And everyone, I hope you take out of this that tradition's bad. And if you disagree with me, you feel free to comment. Just remember, I did tell ya, you can pick your traditions, so there's not a whole lot to disagree with, but if you do, feel free. Till next time, this was Ranting with the Joker.